All right, now they're coming in. What's going on, everybody? We'll wait another minute or two. We'll probably get up into the 50, 60 people range before we get started. Damn, they're coming fast now. What's up, Jared? How's everybody doing this Wednesday? Can we believe there's a game 5 between Houston and the lowest payroll in baseball? Thanks, Tyrus. I appreciate it. Shaz, what's going on? 201, what's up? I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I went to Jersey on Monday and was doing some, other forms of business on top of my normal day-to-day. And I've got my hands in a ton of things. So did that and then ended up, flight was supposed to leave back out of Jersey at 11. Didn't end up leaving until after 1 a.m. So it was like almost 4:30 when I got back. So yeah. And then I got up that morning, started working, but to be honest with you, I did that. I had a conference call at 11, and then, I was one-track minded yesterday. One-track minded, and as soon as I got done, I was ready to kudos to the Rays Fields team. I love those small market teams. Steven, I love the small market teams too. I actually would have preferred to see Oakland in the postseason because I feel like they, truth be told, for what they did for the season, they were more deserving of it. And but I love the small market teams. Baltimore, Oakland. I mean, I love teams like that. But the Rays, more power to them. I've started, I guess when Joe Madden went to the Rays is when I really started to enjoy watching the Rays play and what they started doing, and ever since then they've kind of built a culture of winning around there, and so more power to them. Do you like Billy Bean, the movie Moneyball? Yeah, that's a good movie. It is. What's funny is a lot of you guys may not know this. So before I started doing this full time, as far as dealing with customers, because I had been, investing in sports for the better part of 10 years before I ever decided to put myself out there and build a client base and stuff like that. But I'd also owned a consulting company as well. So it was kind of hand in hand. But I was actually dealing and still deal with some minor league baseball teams, well, major league franchises, but I deal with their minor league affiliates, marketing, sales, customer experience, overall player development, stuff like that. And I still do stuff like that. But I actually interviewed for a job with the Philadelphia Phillies to be the head of player data and analytics as well as overall player development. And at the time, it just wasn't worked out because we had our second kid on the way. My wife was just stuck in her roots here, and it wasn't the right time. But I figure, at some point I'll probably go back and try to do that before I retire, because that was always kind of my dream, to do stuff like that. All right, so we got about 40 people on here now. So what's going on, everybody? Let's officially start this. What's up, Danny? So today, before we get into recapping what we've done so far this week, today, 2 baseball games on. Braves Cardinals, big game there. Big game against the Dodgers and the Nationals. And we've got some NHL action. There's 1 college football game on. So it's going to be a pretty decent little Wednesday. I like the under 8. What do you think? Steven, that's the one thing that I haven't really looked into yet as far as that game is the total. But at first glance, even though Flaherty's pitching, you guys know how I feel about Folty. I actually lean over. to be honest with you. I really do. And I'll tell you this, because that game's back in Atlanta. Where's my notes on that game, as a matter of fact? Oh, shit. Ugh. I think the wind's going to be a factor in that game, to be honest with you. I don't know if you've been to the new SunTrust Park, but they've got it set up like one big business district. So you've got like the freeway on this side, the business district here, but it's coming off of, that freeway loops around. And so it's like one big vortex. So when the wind actually picks up, it does play a factor. And it can do one of two things. It can be a factor to help home runs leave the park, or it sucks them in like a vacuum. But that's kind of how Turner Field was as well, because you had that 85 corridor going right beside the ballpark. So if you were standing in the like the upper deck into the outfield, you're looking at Midtown, downtown Atlanta, freeways over here, and it looped around the behind you, going through like south side of Atlanta, and then forking off to go to Alabama. Kind of the same thing. And, I'll have to look at it. But if the wind plays a factor today in favoring the long ball, this game's going to soar over. And I'm saying, like, I could see 6+ runs by each team. Tony, what's going on? And Steven, I'll look into that. And if I see that it's going to play a factor in that, I'll probably have a play in it. If, obviously anybody that's a member of mine is on a package, if you don't see anything as far as the total goes, then I'd lay off the total, because being that the wind has been a factor in that southeastern region the past few days, I'm definitely interested in the total. So what's everybody like this weekend? We got some good matchups this weekend. Let's do like we did last week. Last week, somebody mentioned a game. Hell, I think it may have been Jerry Valdez. Jerry, was that you that mentioned Florida Auburn last week, and that's what we ended up doing? Gave you a free premium play on Florida outright. Let's do something like that again. That went well. Matter of fact, I've got some notes that I've already done. Maryland, App State. App State money line. I'm not taking App State money line. Who said App State money line? I can take +1 right now with App State and only lay $1.10. But I'd have to lay $1.15 to take them outright. LSU, Florida, that's going to be a good game. Let me print these notes here real quick for what I've got for Saturday already. I think Bama covers against A&M and tries to beat them up bad just to make a point. Clemson, because yeah, and the thing is that, and what you just said about that, that win over A&M is the only win Clemson has to justify them being a relevant team. Playing Charlotte, playing Georgia Tech, who's fucking awful, playing North Carolina, which North Carolina certainly isn't terrible to the extent of those teams. They've made, they've won good games this year, and they've been overly competitive. But, sorry if that's too loud. That's my printer. Texas A&M's the only real win they've got. And Texas A&M's not anything to brag about to the point you would say, okay, they're a number 1 team. Hell, beating Texas A&M doesn't even qualify you as a top 10 team right now. So I agree with you in what Alabama's saying. Plus, that being a West rivalry. Hold on one second. I'm going to load some more paper in this thing. All right, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, they are. And let me tell you something. Jimbo Fisher, he's only on his second recruiting year at A&M. And his first year, he didn't come in early enough to really even get any recruits. He ended up signing 2 guys that first year that were already on the fence about going to A&M. When Jimbo Fisher made his announcement, how did you go through and tell your people you win? I'm not in math class, but I feel you always have excuses on your losses, which is why I stopped following you. Then don't follow, brother. I went 2-3, but as I preach every single day, I always bet. So if you bet a unit a game on premium plays, your unit could be $100 or it could be the same as my unit, which is $1,000. You bet 1 unit on every premium play. And then on every daily top play, you bet 3 units. So you're either betting to win 300 or 3,000. And I didn't say that I won. I said that I profit. And profit in my eyes is much better than a winning record. There you go, Jerry. Yeah, I said profit. I never said that I won. I said it was a losing day. We went 2-3, but the 2 losses, or the 2 of the 3 losses that we had were underdog plays where we. Do you post your tickets? What tickets would you like to say? You're welcome to email me. If I don't play them with a local guy and I actually have a runner do it, I'll be glad to send you a ticket. But 2 of the losses out of the 3 that we have were underdogs, and we paid no juice on them. Then the one that we did was minus 140, so you would have lost 140 or 1,400 in my case. And then we had a win on the under, which would have brought you back a unit. And then we had 3 unit wins on the Yankees top play. So you would have not even won a full unit, but profit's profit. I never said that I had a winning day where I won more than I lost, but I made money. And that's all that matters. Can't make it much clearer than that. And if that's why you don't want to follow me, so be it. All right, who ready to get into Saturday? Or shall we have math class? Is it on really? What else like it? What about today? Yes, well, today I actually already did a free play video, so good question there. That reminds me to address something. So I had a conference call a few minutes ago, so I had already done a free play video for today, and then got tied up on that conference call, so I have not loaded it yet. So as soon as we get done with this live show, I'm going to upload that free play. So I'm not going to give it out here because then it beats the purpose of me actually recording that video. So, but just stand by. There is a free play for today. We will discuss today's games, but I'm not going to discuss the one that I gave out for free. What's the free play game in Chase? Only YouTube capper be fully transparent when it comes to units. Others like to brag about how they're at 55 units a week, but don't count juice. Yeah, I've had many talks about that. So yesterday was the first losing day that not only did we lose. How did you do NFL the last 2 weeks? Sunday I got my ass kicked. I got my ass kicked in NFL on Sunday. I went out there. We had the Minnesota Vikings, which was a nice win. We had the Patriots. Yeah, Islanders didn't show up. So I'm jumping all over the place, but somebody said so. Sunday got my ass kicked. Nice win on the Patriots. Nice win on the Vikings. Really thought Atlanta was going to be able to do something, so I put my faith in Atlanta. The numbers backed it up. Atlanta just needs to go away for the rest of the season. And then the Jets, I don't care if the numbers back it. Everybody took a whooping Sunday. Maybe, I'm not sure, man. I know this. I don't care if I hit 100% in my system to back the Jets. I will not back the Jets anymore this year, which I've only backed them one time. But I've paid very close attention to the Jets, and they're just not a good organization, man. Like, they need to, I don't know what they need to do. They need to overhaul everything. You're better without Ghost Picks. What happened? Man, I've been in business for myself for a long time, and there's certain ways that I conduct myself, and there's certain things that I consider, I consider my morals and my beliefs and things like that a lot more important than just money. I don't need to do this. I could keep all this information to myself, wager on my games like I do now and deal with my other businesses and be living just fine. But I really enjoy doing this. I love helping people. I love having people come to me when this is a hobby and turn it into a business. So I truly love what I do. But, it wasn't working out. It was better for me. It's probably better for them. How much do you pay Kyle Johnson for running your... Kyle Johnson doesn't run my website. Kyle Johnson has nothing to do with my website, Mr. Jimmy. I'm sure you're probably one of his fake accounts. The only thing Kyle Johnson does for me, besides being a good friend of mine, Kyle's always been there to help me in this industry if I've needed it. Questions, anything. Kyle got me in touch with someone that builds software, like customer database software, and I was interested. It was not cheap, but it's somebody that actually works for Cappers Direct, full time employed. They built this, so they own the software, and they allowed that person. Cream puff. So they allowed that person to. They allowed me to hire him to build kind of the software. So Kyle said he makes 15. When did Kyle say he makes 15% of my sales? I know that somebody else said that, but I highly doubt Kyle told you that. Highly, highly doubt Kyle told you that. Because I can tell you this. You sure hook up with Mitch. Are you talking about Mitch Wilson? Let's talk about his baseball games. I like Mitch Wilson. I really do. I really, really like Mitch. I've always respected him. He probably had the site with more traffic coming to his site because of write-ups than every other site in the industry combined. That man was a pioneer in some of the things that websites are doing now. Mitch Wilson was an innovator, a pioneer. That's why Kyle said, "I'll leave it at that." Keep your enemies close, Chase. Good luck. That's fine. Listen, guys, if you guys want to sit here and talk about ghost picks and all that bullshit, I'm not for it. Let's talk sports. I talk to Kyle multiple times a week. So I don't need you to tell me what Kyle says, because you still have the Astros taking all? Absolutely. I absolutely do. I mean, obviously, like I told you, if something happens and they don't, I truly believe that the Dodgers are the second best team. But hey, who knows? The Dodgers, it's all going to come down to tonight. We're doing a big top main games of the week, games of the month. That way, if you're only on baseball season, you don't have to purchase it. I already have those. So there's two of those. You can buy the 1 year all access, and that gives you every single thing that gets released on my site for 1 full year. Every sport, every premium play, every daily top play, game of the week, game of the month, game of the year, game of the century, game of your mother's ass, doesn't matter. You get it for 1 year, and it's $4,000. Right now it was on sale. It's right now on sale for $2,000 until today. And then I have a top play month, which is $5.99 normally, which gives you every daily top play, game of the week, game of the month, game of the year, all that stuff for 30 days. And right now you can get it for $2.99. I want to take the Braves, but I feel like Flaherty is more trustworthy than Folty. Yes, Flaherty is more trustworthy than Folty, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's really, really odd that they're even putting Folty in to start the game. Keep America. Man, get the fuck out of here with that. Ever consider doing $20 Sunday or Saturday? Nah, man. And here's the reason why. Because if I do not, Rick, I do not. If you want UFC, go to cappersdirect.com, or on the days where they have UFC, you can actually find it at chasewins.com. I actually use his UFC picks, post it, all the money goes directly to him and Cappers Direct. But Cappers Direct's who you want to use for any of the UFC stuff. Chase, those that follow you, what kind of person you are. You don't need to speak where you're at. Appreciate it, Felix. We'll get to it. Calm down. Got a lot to go over. And we're talking about baseball today. So, Folty is the more reliable arm, no doubt about it. But in saying that, I think the better bats lie with Atlanta. I truly do. They definitely have home field here today. Let me tell you something. Everybody was talking about, Busch Stadium and Dodger Stadium and, obviously SunTrust Park, and who would be the, oh, look who it is, guys. Hold on. Hello?
What up, buddy?
I am live right now. I was actually just talking about you.
It's probably about the text message I just got.
Oh, I have no idea.
So when you're done live, I'll be back.
Okay. Bye-bye. It was Mr. Kyle. So, anyway, I really think the best home field advantage in baseball right now, as far as postseason goes, is LA and then Atlanta. Houston, you get to the World Series, that'll change. But, right now, even though I love Busch Stadium, I love St. Louis as far as a city goes. I think, yeah, exactly, Steven. I mean, Busch Stadium, to be honest with you, besides Tampa, is the lower tier of just overall excitement right now. Atlanta's going to be rocking this afternoon. It's going to be rocking. And here's the thing, it being at an obscure time, like, what's it go at, like 5 in the afternoon, I think? 5:02. That city's shutting down early today. Every single bar, restaurant, apartment, house, street corner. There's already 5 places in the city that are going to be broadcasting the game. All in around SunTrust Park is going to be absolutely insanity. I heard that the Coca-Cola Theater across the street selling tickets to go in and watch it in like a concert style venue to be able to watch it on the big screen. It's going to be insane. Atlanta's got the best home field advantage fan wise out of everybody at this very moment other than LA. And that's just how I feel. What do I know? All right, so we went over some baseball. I do have a play in the Dodgers game. Anybody that is a member, that 5 o'clock traffic start is a nightmare. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The city's shutting down early today, though. You won't have to worry about that. If you tried to go through Atlanta at 5 o'clock today, which Atlanta's impossible at rush hour anyway, Freeman will bounce back today. I think so, too. I think Acuna will stop swinging at garbage, too. But you wouldn't be able to get through Atlanta today. But I do have a play in the Dodgers game that's already locked in. That if you're already a member at the site and you have a package or you're on the MLB postseason, anything like that, it's already up there, so you can just log in and get it. I didn't see what that last comment was. All right, so we are 22 minutes in, so we'll run it for another 10, 15 minutes. And let's do football now. NHL pick, New Jersey over under 6. I may have a play in that game, man. I'm not going to say nothing. No, I didn't give you a pick in that game. Listen, just because we talk about a game does not mean I'm going to give you a pick in it. That would be degenerate of me. If you ask for a lean, yeah, I'll lean Braves. But Elliot, I can't say because I have a play in that. I have a play in that game, and it is on the side. So, but yeah, I'll lean Braves, but that's not an official play. I like Canadian the Canucks NHL tonight. I'll be honest with you, NHL wise, and this is just for what I've done thus far. The game that interests me the most is the Montreal-Buffalo game. That's the one that interests me the most. I'm also got the New Jersey-Philadelphia game decided. LA-Vancouver, I've already marked it off for now. What do you think of Texas Tech plus 10? I think that line's pretty sharp. So since everybody's starting to trickle into Saturdays, let's go through Saturday. Let's pick a couple of games. Jerry, you still in here? Felix, I'm not going to say anything because that is where my free play lies. Jerry, give me a play for Saturday. Let's go. Give me a game. I am Chad. I have a free play in it. That video will be up after this one. Oklahoma, Texas. Damn, Jerry. You went straight for the jugular on that one. God. On the side, that's the one I was hoping somebody was going to choose right there. It was Notre Dame USC. But Oklahoma, Texas, probably going to be the best game on the board. Man, if you look at what's happened so far this year, Oklahoma should be a walk in the park to most teams that are going to play, and anybody within the Big 12. But we know that this rivalry, the Red River Showdown, is one that it doesn't matter if you have a team that's lost every game this year versus one that may win the national championship. This game is always, I'm not going to say it's always close. This is always a good matchup between two teams and two universities that absolutely despise each other, and they know how to prepare for each other. That's the kicker. These teams, like I said, doesn't matter how good, how bad. Oh, Clemson fan, oh my God. Oh my God. I'd rather you say you were a fucking White Sox fan. Gross. But I'll be honest with you. I don't see value yet unless you are going to take Texas and the points. And the reason that I say that is it jumped out, opened up at 9.5. It jumped up. It's at 11.5 right now. In a rivalry that's this big with what's on the line within the Big 12 and two teams that hate each other, you're getting double digits at home. I say that that's the only way I can see value in this game at this moment in time. But it's only Wednesday. So, that may change as I get deeper into this game. But if I had, gun to my head right this very moment, I'd have to take the points. But the reason my money's not on it is because even though the rivalry's there, I agree with you. It'll probably get back into the single digits, to be honest with you. Guys, we still have 3 days before this game goes. But there's one person that I cannot bet against right now. I'll lay off before I bet against him, and that's Jalen Hurts. He's a grown man. He is the best quarterback in college football. It's not I don't want to hear anything about Trevor Lawrence being the greatest. No way. Not happening. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in football. He can't be stopped right now. And that's what makes me say that, okay, as much as I want to take the points, just like you said, Bankroll, double digits at home, one of the biggest rivalries in college football. That place is going to be insane. I want to take the points, but I'd rather just lay off because I can't bet against Jalen Hurts right now. I'm telling you right now, you're betting against Jalen Hurts, and you might as well be throwing your money away. That it's not smart. It's not smart investing for you to be betting against him right now. Because the only thing you would have done was lost one game, which I did. I've backed Oklahoma every single week except for week 1. And I've won every one of them except Kansas this past week, which was, what was that? That was my only loss in college football this past week, wasn't it? I think so. Yep. So, and I had 2 plays in that game. Preach. I'm staying away. That's going to be a good game, man. That really is. That's going to be a fun game to watch. I was actually speaking of Kyle Johnson, I was actually trying to talk him into going to Notre Dame or South Bend this weekend because he's a big USC fan. And I got family up that way, in Chicago, so that'd be fun to go back up there and see some of those people. I'll tell you what I think is going to be a really good game. I think this Florida LSU game is going to be the best game on the board, to be honest with you. As far as just a back and forth tight game, I really think it is. And I tell you one underdog that I like. I really do. And you guys are going to think I'm insane because this team is absolutely terrible. This team is worse than the Holocaust. I think that for fun money right now, who's your American League MVP this year, Chase? Regular season. Oh, God. Alex Bregman. Truth be told, they won't give it to him. They'll probably give it to somebody within the New York organization. But I truly believe Alex Bregman has been the most vital piece of that offense. And then you've got Garrett, you got the 1-2 punch with Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, and either one of them are worthy of a Cy Young award. But I think Alex Bregman probably be my AL MVP if I had the choice, right at least right now. I think that Tennessee upsets Mississippi State. Does anybody else think that I'm absolutely insane for that? I mean, Tennessee is so bad. I mean, they are terrible. They don't have one thing going for them that makes them even worth mentioning. I mean, they're awful. But I'm going to be honest with you. Mississippi State certainly isn't, that much better. And Tennessee coming off of that beat down from Georgia, which that was obvious, that we knew that was coming. I think that they go back or, stay at Neyland Stadium, no traveling, noon game, and I think they come out of the gates firing early, trying to play a hurry-up offense, which they haven't had success with thus far. Worse than Bowling Green? No. I don't think anybody's worse than Bowling Green, but Tennessee certainly isn't that far from it. But I think that they can have success against Mississippi State's rush defense, playing a hurry-up offense. And if they can get out to an early couple of touchdown lead, I think that they can win this game outright. I certainly think they can cover the 7-point spread. Because right now you're 1-4 against a 3-2 Mississippi State team, and Tennessee is not just getting beat, they are getting obliterated every single week. It's also the same team that got beat outright at home against Georgia State. I think this is a little obvious. This line should have opened up double digits. I think Tennessee covers 7-point spread, and I would not be surprised to see them win outright. What else we like? Any thoughts on the way Jacksonville Jaguars are favorite over New Orleans Saints? I can't, man. I'll be honest with you. I haven't started the NFL this week other than the New England game. So I'm going to refrain from saying anything about that. I would say at first glance it's a trap. I think that the focus needs to be, if you're going to bet that game, it needs to be within the total, and probably looking at an underplay there. How about Bama at Texas A&M plus 16.5? Gun to my head, forced to pick it, I'll back Bama, and I'll take the point, or I'll lay the points. But that's going to be another one of those games that's going to be kind of, I think the line's a little bit sharper than most people realize. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like betting sharp lines. I like finding an edge. What's calling me now? Miami, Virginia. Should Miami be favored? Yes, they should. Reason being, and as I told you, if you guys went back and watched last week's live video, when I told you that Virginia Tech as a 14-point underdog was going to win outright and they were going to make it look easy, and they did. If you look at the way that Virginia matches up to Miami, truth be told, is better than them, not by a wide margin, but they are better in almost every key position that's going to matter on Saturday. And also coming off of a embarrassing home loss, perfect bounce back spot, I think the odds makers have it right. I do think they should be favored. I do think they should win. And to be honest with you, I think they should cover. Do you have a regular job outside of sports? No, I do not, Annie. Well, I can't say I don't have a job outside of sports. I own a company. But I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I work for myself. And to be honest with you, I have good people that work for me and partner with me. And so I don't have to spend a ton of time doing it, 15 hours a week maybe, depending on if I have meetings or have to travel. Other than that, this is what I do all day, every day. Because I do this for a minimum of 8 hours a day. I do it for close to 12 hours a day most days. And then whatever's left over, I'll work on other stuff. But just came in, but what's your thought? I have a free play that will be going up after this video in that game. this one will be posted so people can watch it that didn't get to tune in and be a part of it. But I've already recorded a free play video, so as soon as this one goes up, that one's going to be following. But I do have a conference call at 1 o'clock, so let's thoughts on Chicago Cubs' future. I think that it was the dumbest decision in the world to let Joe Maddon go, a winning coach with the best record in Cubs history. 3 out of his 4 years or whatever, he was over 90 wins. He goes to the NLCS 3 times, wins it once, wins a World Series for the first time in 108 years, makes the postseason every single season but this year, and they fire his ass. It was the dumbest decision that I think I've ever seen made in baseball. I do not think that David Ross is qualified for the job yet, even though he is my favorite candidate. I do not care for Joe Girardi that much. We'll just leave it at that. I kind of have to hope that they choose Ross, because long term he will be the best. But he's just not ready yet. He's fresh out of the dugout. He needs some more time outside the dugout before he goes back into the dugout. But I can say for Joe Maddon, because I don't think he's going to go away, my prediction would be that he probably ends up in Anaheim. And to be honest with you, if I think of any team that I'd like to see Joe go to, I think Anaheim's where he needs to go. Trout, Ohtani, those guys, go out there, have some fun, take them from a losing team to a winning team, and walk out and set the stage for a long-term manager to come in. No problem, Felix. So anything else, guys, before I sign off? Oh, promo. $2.99, full month of plays, every top play. Daily top play, game of the week, game of the month. If there's a game of the year in that month, you get it. $599 is what I usually charge. $299 is on the website. MLB postseason, every postseason game left, premium and daily top play, $50 is on the website. Go get it. There's your announcements. Free play for today, for today's games, is coming on the video that I'm going to put up after this. No, my system has not changed. I just don't have people chirping. No. If the Astros don't win the World Series, what was your free play for this video? Brennan, we kind of had a few. We talked about the Tennessee game. We talked about the Miami game. We talked about the Oklahoma game. So we talked a bunch of games. But the official free play for tonight's game, and I also gave you a lean on the Braves game, and I told everybody that the prediction in the Dodgers game is posted on my website for any members. But the official free play for tonight's action is going to be in the free play video that I recorded right before I did this. So it'll be up in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. All right, guys, love you. Enjoyed everybody tuning in. We had a really good turnout today. We should be back tomorrow. If we are able to make it tomorrow, it's going to be earlier. It's going to be about 10 to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time, because I have a meeting that I have to be at 12, from 12 to 2:30. So we will see. As long as I can get all of my morning stuff done and in place as far as games, I will be going live. So stay tuned between 10 and 10:15 if we can get to it. And I will see you guys back tomorrow. Either way, if we don't make it live, there'll be a free play. So, all right, guys. Love you. Thank you, everybody, tuning in. Any questions, email me, chase@chasewins.com. And, yep, all the haters, too, the trolls, the ones that have fake accounts that came in here just to run their mouth and think they know about my company. Love you guys, too. See you, everybody.